Okay, I've got this diagram up here instead. So the violin patterns are there's just two patterns. There's one S1 super long, which is it's a two string shaped pattern, E and D, and then there's a brick wall pattern here. Those are the only two patterns with the double cages in the violin. Okay, so I went ahead and used the string shapes from the guitar on the violin, but I doubled them, and we come up with the same thing in the string circle. All right, that the fourth of E is going to be the fifth of E is going to be C. Okay, so in violin the things are backwards. So the strings themselves are a fifth apart. Okay, but as you go up, you're going up in fourths. So the fourth in string shapes rather. As you're going up in strings, you go up in fifths. As you go up in string shapes, you go up in fourths. So as we go down in string shapes, we're going down in fifths. The fifth of E is not B, it's C. So that still exists. The fifth of E is not B, it's C. That's going down. So going down is going counterclockwise. So the theory still works on whatever instrument. Going down, a string instrument is going down counterclockwise. Even like the dulcimer. Somebody said, can you do a dulcimer? I said, well, what are the strings? She said D, A, D. I said, there's a tuning warp there. Because if you have the same string on the top and the bottom, you'd have a tuning warp. So, yeah, I mean, that's like the ultimate. Dulcimer is like the ultimate tuning differential, you know. There's only two types of tuning, a fifth and a fourth. So, as we're going down, we're going counterclockwise on the fiddle string circle. Okay, so the E goes to the C. All right, that's an augmented fifth. Okay, as we go up, the C goes to the E. That's a diminished fourth. Instead of C going to F, it goes to E to make the circle. That's the way to look at that. Okay, where were we? So, not sure how the circle actually came about. We're still kicking that around. Was it the tuning third on guitar and then just taking that system onto a violin or a cello? Did it just carry with it that it is not a circle of fourths, it has a diminished fourth? It's not a circle of fifths, it has an augmented fifth? We'll find out, but that's the way it is for now. It's the cage system. Remember, this is every other letter in caged. Now we're going up the ladder here. This could be wrong, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on hold as far as the skipping every third letter. But we got C goes to A, goes to G. Okay, so this is cage. C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E, D. If we're going to go up in double string shapes, but we don't want to go up in double string shapes with the guitar because we don't have the fifth interval that the violin would have. So that's there for the cage ladder, is there for when we want to. That was originally when I wanted to. I was having a little trouble figuring out the fifth of C. Okay, well, I know the fifth of C is G, but when I get, after I've done a few of them, I'm looking at A. I'm on fifth of A. Wait a minute, I got to play this one. Oh yeah, it's C. Okay, it's E. So a way to get around that would be just use the caged word, C-A-G-E-D. So from A, we just skip the G and go to the E. Okay, that's what this had something to do with up here, but I'm not sure what happened there. So we can use, that's why I made this ladder, one of the reasons. So to get from C to G, because we don't want a repeat note here, right? We'll have a repeat note there. Okay, so to avoid that, we're just going to go up in one string shape at a time in guitar and skip every letter in cage. So it's C shape, skip A to G shape, skip E to D shape, skip C again, starting cage over again to A shape, skip G and go to E but warped up, skip D and go back to C again. Okay, another reason that works, another reason for looking at the double cage ladder is to start to look at longer intervals here, such as this one. And where did that come from? It kind of came from what I call the 7L diagram, which starts pretty much here on this 2, and it starts with this S2L here, and it extends all the way down to this S2L down here. That is the 7L diagram. Okay, and where's that 7? Where are the 7 L's? Well, we've got this and this forming our 7. Okay, and we've got this down here and this forming the L. Let's take a look at that as far as on the dark side. So that's it. So we do have like that 7 and that L there. I know it's hard to see, but in the middle is our long pattern, and that's what we are looking at, is our long pattern. Okay, so once again, that's one thing the double cage ladder is good for. Another thing is just working your way up. If you want to go up in cage, C, A, G, but remember, A and G share the 6th. Kind of thing. I tried to play it to accent the shared notes, but it still gets a little mixed up. But when I was first starting out doing that, I had that down because I needed to spend a little more time on those shared notes. So in this case, we can use this for longer interval identification. And so it's right here, is what we call our S3XL. There's one of them. We have a half of one up here. And I don't really like to work with partials. You know, here's a third of one up here. Notice how when you have like a half, two-thirds up here, you'll have a third down here, and then you have your full pattern here with 2 in between. Okay, those in-betweeners, believe it or not, let me remove the off patterns. What on top here we have, sitting on top here we have an S4L, and underneath it we have most of an S4L. Okay, so that would be there. This is an S4L. Okay, and that is this pattern right here. So we have this pattern goes on top of this pattern, and we're going to use that to play long intervals, such as E, key of E, key of A, key of G even, and the key of D, but not the key of C.